will be flights 3 and 4 for the day on the PC21. I try to mark my planes so I can keep track of how many flights they have, and I haven't done a good job on this one. It's only got 1 mark. I know I've flown this at least. I flew it there, I flew it there, I flew it there when the wheel fell off. Probably around 10 or 15 flights. I only have 1 mark, so I don't know, no big deal. Let's go. I mentioned this in the other video. This plane has never required a single click of trim, which I love. Look. And it's a little windy out today, so it's going to get knocked around a little bit, but honestly, man, it's been a long time since I've flown something this easy. It's just smooth, it's easy, it's not intimidating at all. It flies like a Park Zone T-28, the really old ones that they had 10 years ago. It flies like my Flightline Tiger Cat, just a little smaller and a little faster. It's just now you probably notice I'm not really cutting loose with this very much. As I mentioned in my last video, I don't really know what this airframe will take. The wing is 1 part. It doesn't have like a carbon spar that I know of. If it does, I don't really have a good way to find out. I don't have a good way to, like, I would have to tear the wing apart. I really don't want to do that. But no big deal. I just kind of feel like if I rip around too much, we're going to stress that wing out, and that just seems like a bad idea. What I want to do here real quick though is just to get it on video. I'm going to go ahead and do a rip across real quick here. So, she'll move, man. Alright, I'm coming up on 3 minutes 30 seconds, gear down. I'll do a quick flyby to check my gear, and then I'm going to set her down. My weather app said it was going to be very windy today. Fortunately, my weather app was wrong, or else I wouldn't be out here doing this. It is a little bit breezy. All right, half flaps. Ooh, hello. A little spicy, but that's okay. The wind is picking up. I can't turn it around. It's got that giant rudder. Excuse me. You know, if you've watched... Who am I kidding? Nobody watches. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know I kind of have an addiction to really fast planes, like the Outlaw, the Venom, the Avanti. I do like fast planes, man, but I also like good ones, and this is a really good plane. My wife bought this for me, I want to say beginning of 2019 in January, and in February I had the problems with my Spectrum radio. Those problems cost me my first Freewing Avanti. Ran it right into the dirt, and at that time I was just like, that one hurt a little bit. Yeah, so I wasn't too happy about that. So I sent my radio into Spectrum, and I was like, dude, something's wrong. I crashed my Avanti because it lost connection. I didn't crash this, I just broke the landing gear off, fortunately. I crashed a little Freewing P15. I was just having signal issues everywhere. So I sent it in and they're like, yeah, this is messed up. They replaced my radio, which I thought was very cool of them because I didn't buy it from them. I bought it secondhand off of the RC Group's classifieds. I sent it into them and they're like, it's messed up, we're going to replace it for you. And I was like, dudes, that's freaking cool. I didn't buy it from you. But yeah, they stand by their product. I gotta give them props for that. We're gonna let the speed control cool down a little bit and then take her up again. It's not too bad. If you look at the front of the plane here, I made some modifications to it. Not pretty ones because I don't really care about that. I lopped off a little bit of foam. So this actually goes straight into the fuselage, right? And then when this is closed, if you look back in the back there, you can see there's a hole. That's actually the hole I used to hang it from, but it lets air out, so there can be positive airflow through the fuselage. And I may widen that hole, or I may not. I don't know what to do yet. I'll have to ponder that and think about it. The other thing I might do, well, I don't know. I have a 3D printer, so I could probably 3D print some NACA ducts and put them like over here on the side, both sides. I've had good luck with that before, so who knows. I think that's probably enough cooling off. It's enough of me running my mouth. Let's get it worked out. That camera pointed at the sky and not at the ground. The wind is picking up on me a little bit, but that's okay. Away we go. I'm a big fan of FMS planes recently. I know Horizon Hobby and FMS are like E-flite and all them. They're kind of all the same company now. Whether they're the same company or not, I don't know, but it seems like they're releasing all of the same planes. And you'll have like a F-15 64mm that's an E-flite, and you'll have one that's an FMS. The SU-30 jet, the SU-27. I think they're under the same banner now. But that wasn't always the case that I know of. And some of these older FMS planes, I just love them. This PC21 is amazing. Another one, the FMS RocHobby Airacobra, the P39, 980mm one, not the 1200mm. I gotta tell you, man, they're amazing planes. They have way more power than they need, which I love. They fly exceptionally well. You know, that Cobra, I crashed it because I was doing pop tops and getting carried away. I need to get another one because I love that dang plane. It came with a pretty similar power system to what I have in here now. And I may actually be wrong about where this power system came from. It may have come from that Cobra. I could get 12-minute flights on that Cobra. Now, of course, that required pretty strict throttle management, but I could get 12-minute flights and I could land at storage voltage, yeah? And the way I did that was Hobby Star. And I'm not, you know, God, I wish I could be sponsored by somebody. That'd be awesome. So if I recommend something here, it's because it's very good. Nobody pays me anything. Hobby Star, I heard about these on the forums. They have some 4600 milliamp hour 4-cell packs. And they're a true 4600, but they're the size of a typical 3000, which if you're like me, you're thinking, that's cool. And it is cool. Now, they're labeled 35C packs, and they're not 35C packs at all. But you know, maybe they're 20C packs. Well, on a 4600, that still means you can pull 93, 94 amps out of them. But you don't do that, right? What you do, oh, hello. Hey, that wind picked up on me. This plane makes me look so good. So anyway, what I was saying was, if you can hear me over this wind now, I'm going to walk backwards. You're flying a pack that has the size and the weight of a 3000 milliamp hour 4-cell, and it's a 4600 milliamp hour 4-cell. There's no extra weight. It's just a fairly low C-rated pack with high capacity, right? So on the Cobra and on other planes like that, right? You're pulling 60 to 65 amps peak, right? Well, if you don't do that, if you just cruise around at low throttle, which on the Cobra you can do that because it has a gigantic propeller for its size, you can cruise around on 20% throttle. And it's fun. I mean, it is fun to do that. It's fun to cruise around at 20% throttle. So the first time I did that, I took it up, I flew for 5 minutes and I landed, and my cells were still at 4.1 volts per cell. 4.1, I was like, no way, man. So I took it up again, another 5 minutes, easy cruising. And I came down and I was at like 3.9 at that point. And I was like, that's still above what I store them at. So I took it up again for another 2 minutes. And I came down and they were at storage charge, right? So the next flight, I set my timer for 10 minutes. And I just took it up and I cruised around for 10 minutes. Easy cruising, maybe 1 or 2 full throttle punches because that plane was just so addictive. Brought her down after 10 minutes and I was at 395s across the board. So I took it up for another 3 minutes, came down at storage voltage. It's really cool. It isn't magic, it isn't anything like that. It's just a high capacity pack with low C rating, right? So on the Cobra, I did that. I still do on my Flightline Tiger Cat. I'll put 2 of those in there, and I mean, it's great. You can cruise around all day. Now, and I mean, I'm sure if you put one of those packs in a high amp draw situation, it'd probably catch fire and burn your house to the ground, but the trick is you just don't do that. So I like those. I like those packs because of that. And they have all different shapes and sizes, and I bought a few of them. And their other packs are, well, I guess they're kind of the same. They're really good for like a low C-rated application, but as soon as you crank it up, the pack just can't hang. So I run my 8-cell 90mm f22 on a Hobby Star pack, and that's probably the biggest mistake I've ever made. It's a 5200 milliamp hour pack. It's labeled 45C. It is not anywhere near a 45C pack. It's maybe a 20C pack. And that's a problem because the F22 with a solid pack will pull 120 to 125 amps. And that Hobby Star pack in that situation gives you, less than 100. It struggles. It sags down to 3.4 volts per cell. It gets hot. I don't like that, but yeah, so I don't know. Here I am running my mouth. I don't even remember what I was talking about. I was talking about FMS planes. I bought a number of E-flite planes over the past couple of years. We'll say the past 2 years. And there are only 1 or 2 that I cared for. Their quality, as far as the airframe goes, in my opinion, they're not good quality in the electronics or the power, and that really bothers me because they used to be that way. I just picked up that Rare Bear from the hobby shop in El Paso, and it's like, that isn't very old, okay? But look at what they put in there. They put in there a 6-cell power system and they labeled it a 4-cell power system. They put in digital Metal Gear servos. I think they're digital. I know they're Metal Gear. And I've crashed 3 Rare Bears now, and all of the servos I've ever pulled out of a Rare Bear are still solid and still working and still good, right? And then you get to something like the new, not new now, but new-ish 1.2 meter T28, and you've got, for $300, you've got plastic gear, analog servos, you've got a power system that can't hang, that can't hardly move the plane in the sky the way it's intended to be used. You've got hard plastic landing gear, no even pretense at suspension. I don't like it. And so that plane, I mean, honestly, I've done some work to it. It's probably not going to see much stick time because it doesn't fly well, even with way more power than they suggested, even with more power than it came with, but less weight. I've got the weight down. I'm using 1800 milliamp hour 4-cell packs. I don't know, man. I think the 1.1 meter T28 without flaps, without retracts, it's just a better plane. It flies better, it feels better. But anyway, you know, here I am running my mouth again. I'm going to stop this video and I'm going to do another one. Because I love this plane. It's great.